Hello and welcome to The Corner Flag, a weekly football podcast that does not know what to do with itself now that the season's over. On this episode, City are champions of England, Spurs can be champions of Europe, and we talk about Wimbledon, not the tennis, the football club. Episode 26 of The Corner Flag. 26, of course, is a number for a great fact because 26 plus 1 is 27 and 27 years is how long it's been since Liverpool last won the title. I could have saved that fact for episode 27, but I just could not help myself.
Isn't it 29?
No, it's 27 since they last won the title in 90. In the 89-90 season. So there's that. But we shall...
One sec, that does mean it's 29.
Is it?
How bad's your math?
Oh, very bad.
Man,
very, very
Let's
bad.
do this again.
Like, not only is it a stale meme, you suck at math.
It's very bad. It is very, very bad. Okay, so 26 plus 3 is 9. Anyway, we shall not get bogged down with my shitty mathematical abilities because we've got a guest here today. We've got Raghav Mandava from Delhi. He's a comedian from Delhi. Raghav, say hello.
Hi, how are you all doing? This is my first time in a sports podcast.
Oh, lovely.
And I'm very fascinated by sports in general. In fact, the only celebrities that awestruck, like, make me feel shit my pants are sports people.
Okay.
Because it's...
Well, I'm glad you met me then.
Raghav is also the first Arsenal fan to feature on the Corner Flag. So,
Yes.
yay.
Really? You've not had an Arsenal fan here before?
No.
There haven't been too many Arsenal fans.
Oh,
No,
of
I
late,
think
guess.
they've all been hiding under
yeah.
rocks.
I don't know,
for the
man.
last few
Like,
years.
the most disappointing thing about being an Arsenal fan lately for me has been, I don't know if I should get straight into it, that Arsenal is no longer a publicly traded company. It's fully owned now. It just happened a year ago.
Oh, wow.
It was a stockable company where you could buy shares and shit. Right? So it was, as far as I was concerned, the People's Club, as long as that official this thing is there, that
Right.
you could go and buy stocks in
Right.
it. And now
But why
Kroenke
does
is
it-
But look at you, right? Like you stopped being a publicly traded company and you finished 5th this season. Whereas
Exactly.
United still fucking on the fucking
but
New
wait,
York
why
Stock
does it
Exchange.
matter to you?
6th. Are you listening, Ed Woodward?
Why does it matter to me?
Wait, guys. Amogh still has the optimism to say, are you listening, Ed Woodward? I mean, if Ed Woodward is listening to this podcast, that clearly explains why you finished sixth.
I'll tell you what.
Sorry.
Ed Woodward's personal telephone line is doing the rounds of social media. So right now we could actually call Ed Woodward and leave a message on his voicemail. We could do that, but we won't.
We will not, but I really need to find out why being publicly owned is so important to support a club for us.
I'll let Raghav answer that.
Okay, so the thing is, like, lately, like, I really feel like sports needs some fucking communism in it.
Why?
Because it's like, look, the thing I love about sports, and that's why I love sports people so much, is because it's fucking objective if you're good or not. Right? Like, you can't argue with anyone that Serena Williams is not the best player in the world. You can argue that Amitabh Bachchan is a good or bad actor. You cannot argue out that Serena is the best player in the world. And this is not this constant, like, you know, financial doping is like, it's no longer leaving it objective. And that was always a little crisis with team sports, but now it's getting a little too much. And like Arsenal also sinking in this way. It like that's what I loved about Arsenal. That's what I loved about Arsenal, that they built their own stadium using loans, their own money, and they've become a financial powerhouse self-sufficiently. I'm a big fan of that. Like, even for Champions League, I'm rooting for Tottenham because they did it right.
I think 3 out of 4 people on this table right now are rooting for Tottenham.
Yeah, your reasons are different. Like, I should be, like, one thing I don't get is I should hate Tottenham, but fuck you, both clubs are 7,000 kilometers away from me.
Yeah.
Like, I can
Fair
get
enough.
it if you're a Londoner.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get
Thank you. I actually have the same thing. He supports Everton. I really don't hate Everton. And
Yeah.
I'm like, they're equally
Yeah,
far.
like, they're
If I
equally
was in
far.
Merseyside, then probably.
So, like-
I feel like it's very conflicting because I agree with him philosophically, but I hate his choices.
Like, that's the thing. Like, that's what's bugging me about football today. That it's just, like, can we have some balance in it? Like, even in F1, when Ferrari used to get a new car every fucking race and Schumacher won like race after race and has 6 titles in a row, they said, fucking stop this shit. You get a new car, you lose 20 places. Or they applied some rule like that.
Yeah.
Like, they did that to even out probably the most privileged sport in the world.
I mean, football does have that with financial fair play. So, yay, FIFA!
Yeah, like let's leave it in the hands of
Yeah,
FIFA
yeah.
to stop corruption and money.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we
fine.
trust FIFA. In
Yeah.
FIFA, we trust. But anyway, we have a lot to talk about because the title race is finally over. The final game week of the season is done and dusted. And I can't believe I'm saying this with a smile on my face, but Man City are champions for the second year in a row. How do you feel about that, Mukesh?
I'm actually very happy, man. I think the fact that Liverpool dared to
I
dream.
can't believe that.
Guys, think about it. Last year we came fourth, and we weren't even in and 2 years back we weren't in a position to. Coming fourth was a big deal, and now we came second with such a good and close title race. I think the title's around the corner, and I feel
the title's been around the corner for like 27, 28, 29
Nah, I would
years.
say
Don't
that.
get into the math.
Don't get
Amogh. Even a while.
But can't you feel for Klopp?
I do
You
feel for
guys
Klopp.
must feel for Klopp.
I do.
Like,
I'll tell you what, like my opinion of Klopp has changed quite drastically.
like what did it start as?
It started off as somebody who's just all talk, no cock.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
over too much passion,
Dude,
just
he's
too
the
much
dad I want.
punching fist, too much hugging of players,
No,
like way too much passion
Like
for
that's
results.
the father everybody deserves.
No,
like,
but
How is way too much passion a bad thing?
no way too much?
No, but
passion,
I think what he's
right?
trying to say is way too much passion without the results, without the silhouette.
Yeah.
Exactly. Without the results,
Like-
without even a title race as
Oh,
close as this
man.
one. So now that they've gotten this close, my opinion of him is slightly
But
changed
like
because
the-
he's proven his
they-
mettle.
they
beaten
lost-
Bayern Munich and won the
won the-
Bundesliga with Dortmund. Yeah, I think that was a big achievement.
that's a big achievement.
It is, but it's German football. Who cares
Think
about that
yeah,
on
that's
this
also true.
podcast?
But that also being said, like he finished, and I love Klopp. Like I can watch his interviews all day and everything because he just seems like a really cool guy. And he just finished with the third highest total ever in the Premier League history. And lost.
So full disclosure, there's a little bit of bitterness in my opinion as well because when Klopp went to Liverpool, there was some rumors that said that he would come to United.
Okay, yeah, fair.
And I was really looking forward to that because he really did do a good job
Do you
with
have
Dortmund.
a problem with hipsters? Because Klopp is very hipster.
Oh no, I don't have a problem with hipsters at all. Have you seen my glasses? Like, have you seen the T-shirt
Yeah.
I'm wearing? Like, seriously.
Fair enough.
For
fair
those
enough.
of you who are suffering because this medium is a podcast, you really have to check out Amogh's
Yeah, that's also
glasses.
true.
Yeah.
That's also true. Well, deaf people,
But yeah,
blind
so
people will get that.
No,
joke.
so there's bitterness there because I thought I was hoping that Klopp would come to United, but he ended up going to Liverpool. So I was like, I fucking hope he never succeeds at Liverpool.
I really wanted it.
And especially like there were moments like the 3-3 draw against West Brom where they all celebrated.
So,
Great moments for banter, which was really good. But these,
the
I mean, you
only-
can't really hate somebody for leading a team
and the only reason
to
I
second
wanted-
place the way
let's
they
be
did.
honest, the only reason you all wanted City to win is because you don't know any City fans.
Thank you.
Let's be honest.
No.
If you were
No.
surrounded by City
City fans, you would find them
if your
annoying.
life
No.
was surrounded by City fans, you would fucking never. Because that's
Guys, we found an Everton fan and we couldn't find a City fan.
That's true.
Like-
That's true. That's true. But no, my reasons for wanting City to win over Liverpool are very simple. Liverpool are closest to United in terms of number of titles won.
Sure, of course.
Right. So
And their
City
fans
winning a
can be
title
very
doesn't
annoying.
really affect the overall scheme of things in my head
True.
in terms of overall history of two clubs.
Yeah.
So I would still consider Liverpool as
Look,
far greater rivals to
As
United.
an Arsenal fan, you kind of learn to discount history. So when you bring that spiel in my face, I'm like, it's all about the now, man.
Actually, as a Liverpool fan, I'm just like, hey man, it's about the now. In the last 2-3 years, what have we done? How much we have improved?
So like when the History Channel starts, I tune out. Like just like I'm one of those people.
It was a
But I
tight one.
get it.
It was
I
a,
have that for Arsenal and the FA Cups.
Yeah.
Like I don't want United to win because Arsenal has the most right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I think what this season has done is it's clearly given every top 6 club fan now a second team to root for.
That's true. Actually, it's kind of funny.
Like Everton's
I feel that
rooting
way.
for Everton's rooting for Spurs in the Champions League. United's rooting for Spurs in the Champions League. and Everton were
I
rooting
think
for
pretty
City
much
for the Premier League.
everyone except for Mukesh is rooting
Pretty
for
much,
Spurs in the Champions League.
Pretty much.
That's not the numbers of fans you have don't
No,
really
like
matter, I guess, guys.
also because then I'll
our
have to see.
collective will isn't influencing anything.
I'll have to see my fucking Liverpool fan friends just keep typing 7 times in all caps, like in WhatsApp groups and
Yeah.
shit.
Okay, I feel like the problem is not the fans, but I feel like who are you guys hanging out with that have pissed you off so much? And have you ever considered you might be that person to everybody
I genuinely
you
believe,
met?
No, I genuinely believe football would be better without football fans in my life.
Absolutely.
Because
Fair
then I
enough.
could, and I'm also
There's some obnoxious football fans. all
yeah,
over the
and
world,
I'm also trying to
Hey, if you're a football fan and listening to this podcast, you guys are amazing. You support who you want to.
You
Listenership
all
just
suck.
dropped.
I hate all of
And
you.
Woodward, if you're listening,
No, I hate all of
burn
you.
them all.
Anyway, it was a tight last day because
It
Liverpool
was.
took the lead.
Yeah.
For a long time it was 0-0 Brighton
Yeah.
City, and then Brighton took the lead.
Yes.
So for a minute, collective hearts and balls were in mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that
like-
was amazing. It was just like,
like-
no, there was a moment of like, okay, this is what it feels like. Wow, you felt it for a minute, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And
this
then
is our year.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
must have said that to themselves.
Somebody actually,
Again.
you know how in the Champions League semi-final when Liverpool beat Barca, Salah wasn't playing, but he was wearing a T-shirt
Never
that
give
said
up.
"Never give up." Somebody photoshopped that T-shirt to read "Next year is our year," which was just hilarious.
just-
And sad for Mukesh
Like, yes,
and other
but
Liverpool
the-
fans.
Guys, honestly-
but primarily
It's a
hilarious.
stale meme though.
It is.
Yeah, it's a stale meme,
Very.
whatever. But I'm saying, guys, honestly, I don't think there are two things I'm bugged about Liverpool fans. One is that people don't understand how much how much we've improved in the last 3 years. Again,
It's a lot.
Lezan Markovic was in our team some time back. Like, he was a big buy. We've
Yeah.
come to the point where what is that Ajax kid? Delict?
But
Delight.
that is delict, yeah.
Delight. Let's call him Delight.
Delight.
Delight wants to join us. Can you imagine from Markovic?
No, he doesn't.
I'm saying that's a possible
Klopp
rumor
has
that could be
pull.
true. Yeah,
he
like,
has that allure.
to go
that players
from
want to play
Markovic to
under him.
this in 2-3 years is fantastic. Second thing is, some people are like, you know what? Liverpool did a big mistake when they didn't beat City. I'm like, dude, we lost one match. Can we just tone down with the expectations? Like,
That's
shit,
crazy.
it's
Like-
unlucky.
Yeah.
You just have to accept the fact that
I
this
think
is
Liverpool just pulled off a Venus Williams, the best number 2 ever.
best number
like,
ever.
That's 2 tennis references in this podcast already. 2 more than we've ever had in the
Oh, yeah,
history
fair,
of this football
Fair.
podcast. But good
My
on you
bad.
on that.
Okay.
I'll try table tennis next. Like,
Listenership dropping further. क्या ये ping
Oh,
pong कौन
but it'll be
देखता है?
epic if like table tennis fans are like really rabid or something.
Yeah.
Like they're the ones who like they're at your throat.
Yeah.
They're fucking
Hey
hardcore.
man, did you hear Raghav on that football podcast? He talked about Lee Chong Wung.
Yeah. And some Murli Sharma
Says
from
Lee Chong
India.
Wung. But City finally winners, and you have some thoughts about Guardiola because we were talking about this.
you mean
offline.
Fraudiola?
You mean So
Like,
Wait, why do you think he's a fraud? I think I have similar opinions, but not as strong. But let's go.
Okay, like my opinion is like it's more to gear to his fans than him. All right. The thing I take biggest issue with is when people call him the best manager. I will not give him that title in the 100 fucking years. I'll give him best coach.
Okay.
Right. Like I will not give him best managers is what Wenger and Ferguson did, where they from ground fucking up, they knew exactly what was going on in the club in every department.
right.
Right. Like
Right.
that's what a manager is.
Yeah.
There's like, like Guardiola, like he says, I want that. He gets that. Whereas Wenger and Ferguson had to fucking scout people out.
Yeah.
They went and saw them practice themselves. Like they were constantly busy. Guardiola has one job, and this is what I want to try to convey to his fans. That
But-
he's not as good as you think he is.
And
He's always gone to the best of the land, always got the best of the land. And I'm sorry, like I will not. It's not objective. Give him do it with a small club. I'll shut the fuck up.
But
Like-
I take your point. However, isn't that what football management is in today's day and age?
It is, but it is
'Cause when you're
It
talking
is,
about
I accept
Wenger
that.
and Ferguson-
That's
Yeah,
why-
like you're
that's why
becoming-
I would like to petition that we call him a coach. You want to be a manager? Eddie Howe is a motherfucking manager. He played 300 games for Bournemouth. He took over after that. He brought them from League One to Premier League in 7
kept them
fucking
there.
years,
And
and
kept
he's
them there.
kept them there.
Yeah.
That's a manager. Like that's a guy who gets shit done from like nowhere to somewhere in every part of the club. He breathes it. Guardiola is a mercenary. There's not that far, but
Yeah, because I mean, again, like I go
he's
back
not
to.
attached to City.
Of course, he's not.
Like
Of
But
course
I'm
he's
saying,
not.
is that a defining quality? Would
For
you want
me,
to
it
consider?
is.
But
Kind
would you say? Okay, we
Kind
know
of.
for a fact that he's not attached to City. He wasn't attached to Bayern Munich, but he was definitely attached to Barcelona.
Fair. Like,
You
and he
know?
had a great start and he did really well. But again,
Again, what?
look at that squad he had with Barcelona.
But I'm
Look
saying
at that
to
squad he
but
had with
you have
Bayern.
people who have great squads, but they don't realize the
Sure.
potential.
That's why I'm saying best coach. I will give him
Sure.
best coach.
But-
manager.
But by that logic, most of the managers for all these big clubs are then coaches because you have
They
to
are.
But
compare
the
him.
thing that bothers me is, again, it's not Guardiola, it's his fans. The fucking, this thing with God worshipping thing that they have for him. Right? It's a little much.
But that's the fandom across
Yeah, sure.
all
This is a
spectrums. Like
message to his
that's
fans. Like-
BJP fans in a
Yeah,
nutshell.
yeah,
You know.
this is a
One
message.
more political reference than we've had.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, fans are annoying. And like, my thing is like, look, I'm a fucking armchair pundit, okay? So like, the best thing about being an armchair pundit is that you're allowed to have your opinions.
Absolutely.
Like, that's the thing, right? Like, and I'm not impressed because no one's even ever said, no, you can't get that player to him. In
But I
any
think to
club he's
command
gone
to command that status itself requires
no,
a certain-
but like if you better win the league if you have the every position in City, he has the top 3 of the league. Every fucking position. Even Madrid doesn't have that. Even Barca never had that.
Okay, but
Like top 3 player in every position is at his disposal in the league. You better win it.
no, but what I think is with the season Liverpool have had, let's be honest, Liverpool have had a fantastic season.
More
Yeah.
than fantastic.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like the one difference was Guardiola. Like if there was another manager, his team would have caved.
Yes.
He's experienced, he's great, and every manager nowadays, be it a Klopp, be it Guardiola, they get what they want. You know, like we were discussing, the game has changed. It's all about the money now. Most of the teams have money with the broadcast rights and all
Yeah,
the TV
sure,
money
exactly.
coming in. Every manager is more or less on an equal pegging, especially for the big
that's
clubs.
not even there between Guardiola and Klopp. Klopp doesn't get everybody he wants.
Klopp has
Like-
spent
But
more.
that's because Klopp hasn't yet commanded that level of.
No, he does. He's just in the club that can't afford it.
No,
Sure, but either way, right?
No,
Wait,
one
I mean,
sec.
compared to
Klopp-
City, okay, if you're comparing Liverpool to City in terms of financial muscle, yes, they can't afford it.
But
But
nobody can compare to City.
Hold on. Alisson is way more expensive than City's
yeah,
keeper. Van Dijk.
world's most expensive defender.
You can't say
Yeah, that's
Liverpool has not
Yeah,
spent
20
money.
million pounds
They
money
do
in
have
the
the money.
Yeah. They do have money. But
Most of
Okay,
these big
so
teams have money, man.
so
It's what you do with the money that matters.
The argument here is I don't disagree when you say that Guardiola's always got what he wanted. But at the end of the day, that's still good scouting. I mean, not
True.
scouting in the sense that you're scouting
I'm
some
not
young
disputing
prodigy.
that he's not.
I agree,
the shit.
yeah.
I'm disputing best manager.
Sure, okay, I
I'm
agree with you on
not-
the best, but to call him Fraudiola is a little harsh.
No, like
See,
that's-
even for banter's sake.
exactly.
No, even for banter's sake, that's harsh.
Yeah, of course. So is making fun of Gerrard Slip. But that's what football is.
But
Oh, you're behaving like a fan now, are you?
Yes, of course. Yes, of
being a
course.
fan.
Yeah,
That's the other side.
yeah,
You know,
of course.
you are exactly the annoying football fan that you hate.
God, everything I hate about everybody else in football
Yeah.
is I have done it at some point.
Right.
That's why I hate it. It's like this is such a horrible quality to have. I wouldn't want to be like this. Like for example, one thing I'm actively trying to do is stop saying we for Arsenal. Like I
Sure.
Small steps.
Yeah, it's
Small
small
steps.
No,
steps.
that's true. I get that.
Because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is, the more I can detach from Arsenal, the more I can enjoy football. Right? Like
Said every Arsenal fan ever.
no, like not ever.
Said every fan in a losing cause ever.
No.
I fear United are
love-
going down that road.
You know, in the
very
Bhagavad
fast.
Gita, they said once. Let's just quote some insane reference.
Let's move on to the Liverpool game. Liverpool 2-0 against Wolves. 2 goals by Sadio Mane, and now Aubameyang, Salah and Mane shared the golden boot.
What's happening in Africa? Fantastic stuff. Finally getting.
Do you know where in Africa he's from, Mukesh? Haha, put you on the spot.
Which one?
Sadio Mane.
Senegal?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Did you know?
No.
That's why he was asking the questions.
sorry.
like,
Yeah,
do
of course
you know?
I did.
Yeah, no, you put me on the spot in the sense that I really questioned myself. I'm like, do I really know about my own team?
Yeah.
I have no clue where Aubameyang is from.
He
so
could have technically Gabon, but he could
Gabon.
have technically played for France or something
could have,
like that.
yeah.
He chose Gabon.
The
Yeah.
first name really gives it away, I think. The
Yeah,
Pierre part
Pierre.
of it
Pierre.
really gives it
He
away.
doesn't get more French than that.
What's your name? Pierre-Emerick. Where are you from? Gabon. No shit.
How come? Cologne Colonialism.
Yes,
Just-
there you go. Colonialism.
But yeah, so 2-0. I think that was I feel like people hyped up that match a lot more. In the sense that people are like, oh, Wolves are going to beat them. And I know Wolves have a very good record against the top 6.
Yeah.
But I think at least in this match, given the emotion that's been running at Anfield, given how important the match was,
Yeah.
I don't think it was a match where Liverpool would end up in a losing cause. Maybe a draw if it was one of those days where like
Yeah,
got Lovren in or something.
Where
but-
everything went wrong.
And-
yeah, but it was.
they were not going to
I mean,
lose.
honestly, leading up to the final game week, on every episode that we've done before this, like the past 3-4 episodes, we've all been discussing about how they're going to bottle it against Wolves. They're going to bottle it against Wolves, and that's probably because we wanted them to.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
there was a feeling of
hope.
fuck, please lose. It'll be so good if you drop points now on the last day of the season, but very objectively speaking, that was never going to happen.
Yeah,
With the season that Liverpool have had,
They
to
lost
lose,
one
they would
game.
not be in that. They would be so fired up for that last game because they know it's now or never.
and maybe it was in what is the Wolves' home ground called?
Molineux.
There, if it was in Molineux, maybe there was a chance of a draw. But I don't think at Anfield, given the importance, there was no way Liverpool were going to draw points.
Yeah.
Considering that Salah's also back in the
Yeah,
team.
but Liverpool now have lost the title, but have the Champions League to look forward to. Do you think the Champions League is a trophy that Liverpool and Liverpool fans want more than the Premier League?
I think Liverpool fans have been looking for some catharsis, something to remember this season by, other than hey, we came a close second. And I think the Barcelona match was something of that sort. It's
Yeah.
like this season you'll always remember that match.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
And I think if you add the Champions League, nothing like it. Because then it'll be like, you know what, it's worth it. It was worth it.
It'll be
Yeah,
really
exactly.
it'll be really sad if you don't win the Champions League now because you're saying we wanted something to remember this season by, and the fact that we beat Barcelona in a semi-final and then still ended up without any
No, but-
trophies is what we remember this season
You know,
by.
I'm saying it'll be
Final
epic.
record
It's
is
terrible.
something to worry about.
It is.
terrible.
And
exactly.
you know the thing
And I
is like
think-
the thing about sports is that it perpetuates superstition. Just like whatever it is.
No, they are, because
it
there
perpetuates.
was this amazing, like, I'd like to believe I'm rational, but this is amazing superstition that came out in December, which said the last 2 times a team was on top for Christmas and lost was Liverpool. And it's happened a 3rd time now. So I think by next season, by December, I want to be like, let's be like 8th, like a comfortable 8th. I think just
Yeah, you know,
climb
you
up.
like.
Hey,
Um,
do you have any openings for Ed Woodward? Because we can make that happen. You know, if you want like 8th, 9th, 10th, relegation, sure, he can make it happen.
Unlike United, I think the
yeah.
Liverpool.
How are you feeling about Klopp and his final record?
No, I think that's definitely scary, but I think I have a little more faith in this team.
yeah, the
To
team
win
is-
against see again finals are absolutely open and there's nothing to take away from Tottenham, but I don't think they're last year's Madrid, and I think this Liverpool team isn't last year's Liverpool.
lot on the line for Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
They win this, they keep Kane. Like I'm guessing.
I think even
And
if
Eriksen-
they don't win, they'll keep Kane. Because Kane is
Kane
a Spurs
is too
boy.
good not to
No, I think-
have
well,
medals.
Well, actually,
but here's the
isn't
thing.
Kane originally an Arsenal boy?
He's an Arsenal
The
Academy
childhood
reject.
He was the childhood
An
Arsenal.
Arsenal Academy reject. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But like
But-
Kane
but
is
no.
too good
Of course
to
he
not
is.
have medals around his career, man.
Of course he is,
Like that's
but-
why I didn't hate Van Persie for leaving Arsenal.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, you're too fucking good to not have medals, man. Go. Like get them. You deserve them. And Kane
If you
is in
love
the-
them, set them free.
Yes.
But
And
I feel like Kane will still give it a year or 2.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Yeah,
Tottenham's
I mean,
on
look
the
at
up.
he's in the prime, man. Like he's in his
No,
prime.
he's pre-prime. He's what, 24,
Like,
25?
24,
But
24, 25.
He's hitting his stride right now, and you don't know. Like as a sports person, you know that you don't know.
Look, if
how
I were
it's going to go.
if I were in his shoes, which is very tough to imagine, because
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
they're
sitting recording a
pretty
podcast
beautiful
with you
shoes, man.
fuckers in Bandra, but they've got a new stadium.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful stadium.
Sure,
They are challenging for the Champions League,
this season.
which has never happened in their history.
Yeah, and he knows that.
He knows that, and it can only get better from here.
They have
I
a
feel.
great manager.
They have a great
They have a
manager.
great
They have a great manager.
Keeping him also if they don't win, because he also wants medals.
He does.
Like
Where's he gonna go, though?
He's seen this. Where would he go? That I don't know.
Went-
Barcelona might be an option because Valverde
Yeah.
might get
Well,
the
I
sack.
actually read
And I
that
think-
Ronald Koeman is their prime target, which
which is just weird.
Which is
I
bizarre.
mean, like
Why?
rumor mills are always
right, but
Yeah.
They could just
but
say
even
Jose Mourinho is going to go to Barcelona after this. Like they could say
Yeah.
anything at this point.
Poch to leave Tottenham after he's worked so hard. He spent
Yeah.
a few years with the club. He's really changed the team around. I don't think now, after getting to where he wants to be
Yeah.
with the new stadium
True,
and
that's
with
true.
the great squad
Yeah.
that he has,
Yeah.
I don't think now is
But
the
it
time
is
for
dicey.
either of them to leave.
It is dicey. Look, man, like every sports person knows that they have very limited time
Yeah.
to get shit done.
Yeah, yeah,
They know that. They know it's a ticking time bomb. They know they're an injury away from never winning a medal again.
yeah.
Like, yeah, and that voice keeps shouting in their head. Like, so, and Kane deserves.
I think if
medal.
Poch leaves, Kane leaves.
Like,
Definitely.
I don't know where he'll go. Who the fuck can afford him? Like, but he knows. He can walk into any fucking club.
Madrid is always an option.
He can walk into any club.
I agree with what you're saying about he needs to win medals, and you never know when your career is going to end. But from what I can see, the way Kane is, he clearly is really fond of the club. He is in love with that club. I feel like he'll give it at least a couple of more years, because even if he leaves at the age of say 27 or 28, he still has a few years.
I would say it's the Henry situation, where Henry wanted the Champions League. And you can understand, because that completed his his locker of World Cup, Champions League, Premier League.
You think Tottenham are now going to be title contenders for next season?
not title
with
contenders.
the way. Like, that's the thing, man. Liverpool had a year. I don't think they're going to be able to repeat it. Like,
That's what they said last year.
No, so
Champions
okay.
League
The
final.
thing is, even
My
if you look
memory is
at
very bad.
even
When
if
they
you
finish-
even if you look at
fourth.
Spurs Champions League record this season, they've scraped through. Honestly,
Scraped through,
this is the best chance.
this is the best chance they've got, and they've never like convincingly like demolished teams and gone through.
Yeah.
Even against Ajax, it was
Touch and go.
But
away goals.
like we've discussed a bunch of times earlier, it's not about demolishing teams. It's about getting the important wins when you get them, regardless of how you get
absolutely.
them.
But that's what I'm saying, right? They've had a lot of luck on their entire road
they
to the
got
final.
both teams got through group stages through away goals.
Yes.
Not even away goals. It was goal difference.
Yeah,
It was goal
yeah,
difference or something of that sort. No, it was
sorry. One player who actually might leave Spurs.
Ericsson.
Ericsson.
Of course,
yeah.
definitely. I think Ericsson.
And now
Ericsson, Madrid.
that guy, and also being Danish, he
Yeah.
doesn't mind moving to other countries. Like,
Yeah.
English players don't like doing it.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't lose Ericsson.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good. That kid is fucking incredible.
Do you think if Ericsson goes, Lucas can drop down into his role in the hole?
No, they need to get a fresh player for
This
his
kid
role.
is special. Like, the thing is, because Kane is that good, he gets to like shine. Like,
And he's a local lad, so I'm guessing it's sort of.
he gets to shine without the limelight on him. But Ericsson is, I think, more important than Kane. Like, because he started it.
Yeah.
He was one of those Soldado 7 pickups or whatever. Like he was one of those guys.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
for him, he's been longer. He's been crushing it longer.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
Ericsson. If they lose Ericsson, how will you replace that? He's easily a 60 million pound player.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, but now Spurs haven't spent any money in the last 2 transfer windows. They have a new stadium. They've done really well in the Champions League.
yeah.
I'm sure they're going to spend big, and I'm sure
don't
they'll
think the
strengthen their squad.
I think they'll strengthen the squad, but I don't think they can afford to spend big because that's been their model all along. Like, when was the last time Spurs picked up like a 40 million pound player?
But either ways, they haven't spent in 2 windows.
It's a very-
they're going to pull it all together. I feel like they could be a team to watch out for next season.
Yeah, but they could just hush it all up by winning the Champions League if they do.
Exactly.
Like, after that, then everybody will sign new contracts and they'll be
Yeah.
like, fucking hell, we're like a silverware winning club.
Yeah.
Kane would have won the biggest medal there is to win, so would have Ericsson.
Fair, yeah.
Like, but like, if they don't, they will have a lot of management to do.
Yeah. On
Like-
paper, though, Liverpool favourites. I think we can
Yes,
all agree with that.
yeah, easily.
But on paper,
easily.
That
Liverpool-
comeback against Ajax was something special. Like Lucas' hat-trick was something special. Last minute of the game. That was fantastic
Pretty
to
much
watch.
last kick of the game.
Pretty much last kick of the game. So that was
I
that
felt
was
really bad for Ajax, though,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It was heartbreaking. But
You know
they
who
put
didn't
the
feel
medal-
bad about Ajax though? Jose
My
Mourinho.
favorite manager. I love to hate.
Mourinho.
I love
was it?
Mourinho. I love Mourinho for both reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta
Right?
hate him, gotta love him.
Gotta hate him, gotta love him.
You
Like,
need a Mourinho in your life.
He said Ajax can watch the Champions League final at home with their philosophy. Which is just
my
which is
God.
big statement to
That's
make. Which is such a
cruel.
Jose Mourinho
Why-
statement to make.
He's so good at being a dick. It's incredible.
Yeah. But doesn't that make him kind of anti-football?
No,
'Cause-
I feel like it's strategy versus philosophy, right? And that's what Mourinho's always been about.
Sure.
You have your Klopps and your
That's why
Guardiolas
he
who are still
hated
about
Wenger.
philosophy, whereas he's all about strategy.
Sure, but
and I think that's as much to call it anti-football. I think is to be cruel towards him, and to call it anti-football is anti-football itself.
okay, and this is not true in terms of Ajax, but a philosophy can also be a strategy for a club.
No, philosophy.
I mean,
is
case in
strategy.
point, Barcelona. the tiki-taka philosophy is also the strategy and the backbone of the way that club plays. It didn't work out for Ajax because they went 2-0 up,
No, but I think what
kept doing the same thing, didn't change.
I think what he meant here is how do you adapt to the situation?
Exactly,
at hand.
exactly,
Correct.
yeah.
Which is, so at that point, if you stick to that one dodgy thing that you have, then
Yeah.
you're bound to lose, which is what? The young players at the young coach. I'm
It's
guessing,
also a bit of a freak result. I mean, I always spare a team for losing in the 90th minute because
Yeah.
it can happen
It can
to
happen, yeah.
anyone.
And also
But it
that
wasn't
Fernando
just-
Llorente, my favorite player, guys. He's the one guy I'm terrified of because I feel like because people don't understand how much of a difference he makes, and it's not because he's an outstanding player, he has outstanding skill. I just think he's one of those guys who's a presence, and you need just one guy. He takes away one guy with him for sure.
Yeah.
Right, because of the aerial duels. He's just a
Yeah.
pesky
He's a
little
physical
guy.
player.
Physical player, right?
And he
that
came on and
means
he
that
changed the
leaves
game.
another player free for sure.
Yeah.
That means at a time when somebody switches off, you
Yeah.
have one amazing player free
Yeah.
and someone like, and I think Tottenham won, I think, the minute Fernando Llorente came.
That's
or they
true,
had the
actually.
chance of a comeback.
He came on and the game
The
completely
game changed. So I think
Yeah.
that's when Tottenham had a chance of fighting back. And,
Gotta
that,
give it-
and the
gotta give
winner
it to
was off.
Pochettino, though.
Yeah.
Holy
Poch-
shit, mad respect.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
This is quite a project that he is seeing through.
Yeah.
And it's like Wenger-esque in nature.
It's Wenger-esque, yeah, it is
It's
Wenger-esque.
Wenger-esque in
Yeah.
nature.
That's the Champions League. We shall quickly talk about United because we have to. Bring it on, guys. Just let me have it.
I
It's
feel your
fine.
pain, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Like,
You
it's
don't wanna
all
kick
right.
a person who's down.
You
Yeah.
made it a habit and welcome.
Yeah. I don't know.
You made it a habit. And come join us.
Yeah.
Time for you to start believing in philosophy.
Yeah.
It's a habit now.
Yeah.
It's not
I
about
don't, know,
the
I, don't
results.
know, I don't know why the fuck we can't beat teams that have already been relegated. How hard is it?
It's like you said, no, the CSR. Man United is just doing CSR for
Yeah.
like smaller teams.
Like, I don't know. Like if I was a United fan right now, first of all, I'd be feeling like, the thing about me as an Arsenal fan is I became an Arsenal fan when they lost the Champions League final. I have
Yeah.
not seen a winning Arsenal team like as a fan.
Okay.
Right. You
Not
guys,
even the Invincibles.
no,
You're not, oh.
I became an Arsenal fan after I saw them lose that final. Right. I felt for Henry. Henry was like, I saw a couple of his interviews and I just fell in love with him. Right. Like you can't deny that.
Can't blame you for that.
So like right now, if I was a United fan, I'm seeing a club which fucking crushed at every level and is now just a
Quite
club.
crushed themselves.
Quite
Yeah.
crushed themselves. And how will
it can only
they-
get better, right? I just
Huh?
think it can only get better from now
No, it can
on.
no,
definitely
it can
get
get worse.
worse.
It can get
a
worse.
lot
That's what
worse.
they've been
So
saying.
definitely get
They've
worse.
been saying that for 4 years.
Yeah, it can
Like-
definitely get worse.
okay, for me, I
in
feel
fact,
like-
I'm very certain that it is going to
Okay,
get worse.
I know it's weird we're talking about this season, but let's also talk about how amazing Mourinho is for finishing second last season. I think
Yeah, but
that's
there was
something-
still a big points
Yeah,
gap.
that's no, it doesn't matter. But I'm saying the fact that he finished second just tells you how amazing he was and what a job. In hindsight, that second position has aged
Yeah,
so well.
he didn't get enough credit for handling the bitch fits that he had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's also talk about the little jinx of signing Solskjaer. He was on a temporary contract. Everything was great. Signs contract.
Everything
The
is
fuck?
shit. Yeah.
It's almost like he went, severance acha milega.
No, but
Like,
The Manchester United philosophy.
I'll work for that.
come here
fucking-
for the severance package. No, I tell you what though. I think the issue here is, and this has been widely reported in the media as well, but I think it's very adamant that the issue here is the players, right?
Yes,
the
of course.
players just cannot stand a full-time manager. They don't want to play for a full-time manager.
That club
They're
needs to
commitment phobic.
They're
Like,
very commitment phobic.
we flirt
Arey,
around
you're
with
here
the
for 6
manager.
months. चलना हम लोग दुनिया जीत लेंगे. अरे तू
That-
sign क्या contract? Fuck off. We don't want you here anymore.
Oh my god, that club needs a restart, man.
Of course it does. It's needed a restart for the last 7 years.
It needs a delete star level.
Control alt delete.
No
needs to
man,
happen.
that's not enough. Delete star. Format karo ye bhaichod. Like ye bahut ganda scene ho
Absolutely. No,
gaya.
there's so many players that are causing attitude problems. Like Pogba, for example, is the biggest.
I think it's a name that
guilty
is the
party.
problem. Like think about it from a player's point of view. If you are a kid, these guys are kids. Let's be honest.
yeah.
Right. Like and they haven't had a real childhood because you can't be if you
Yeah.
want to be a sports person.
Yeah.
So imagine you're some young 22-year-old who
Yeah.
thinks he's a shit because that's what you got to do if you're a footballer or a
Yeah.
sportsman, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody's Kante.
Yeah.
Right. And then you get signed for like the biggest brand of the world.
Yeah.
It's got to go to your head.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they genuinely. I think United should invest in some psychologists. Like I'm not even saying this as a joke.
As long as we don't pay them £500,000 a week for
Dude,
sitting on the bench and doing sweet
Pay
fuck
them
all, I think
100K
we're
a week.
good.
They could
But
actually
he plays the piano
because
really well.
if United's problem is constant attitude problem, and it's been there for a while.
But I doubt that's something that's not already there. Like,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
already there, but like clearly they need to manage it somehow. This
Yeah.
is it's repetitive.
so I know. I feel like probably with United, what will happen is you remove like that one, like probably like assuming it's Pogba. Remove
I
that
think
one
Pogba
bad person.
and Lukaku.
Yeah, probably Pogba and Lukaku and Sanchez maybe.
Yeah.
Because Sanchez
Sanchez,
definitely
yeah,
will go.
man. I knew-
And I think it'll sort of rework, re-engineer it by itself.
I
Like,
think Sanchez was Arsenal's revenge for Van Persie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. When we had that transfer,
No, sorry. Sanchez was Arsenal's revenge for Mikael Silvestre.
yes. No,
Yeah.
But like this one, you thought like when that swap happened, I'm like, le jao, dekho.
Yeah.
Like because I used to see how Sanchez used to throw his arms up at Ramsey and
Yeah.
let me see you play in a team which isn't built around you.
Yeah.
Right, like
Yeah.
when you have to. Sanchez was a very big fish in small pond situation.
Yeah.
oh, he felt so.
Huh?
And then realized he's a small fish.
Although at Barcelona the team wasn't built around him and he had probably the best few seasons of his career at
Yeah,
Barcelona.
you know, like
But then again, it's Barcelona.
yeah, it's
You can
also Barcelona.
everyone has the
everybody-
best
But Marlon is
season.
having a great season at Barcelona. So
everybody in the midfield has 10 goals in them because
Yeah.
everybody is like.
Yeah.
But the thing with Sanchez is like, again, I think it's
I
down
mean,
to.
Busquets has 10 fouls, but
like,
and 10 dives. So,
and also like a couple of ligaments on the other people.
Yeah.
Like just gotta get those ligaments.
No, but the thing is, I think when Pogba was signed again by Mourinho, there was this, like, I was gullible enough to think, oh man, you know, this is going to be great because he's really like developed into a world-class
He's a
player at
great
Juventus.
player, no doubt.
And he's going to come back. He's coming back home. You know, he has a connect to this club because he's a youth kid and all of that. And the more I see him play for United, the more I see him put up stories on Instagram, the more I realize how correct Ferguson was to let him go.
Yeah.
And let him go on a free that too. Ferguson was like, fuck off, I'm not giving you a contract. You know, fuck off. I don't care about how much talent you have. Fuck you, you're out of here.
Ferguson was a great manager. You
Yeah.
saw that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what it's one of those things. Like
Yeah.
and the thing about people who are connected to the club, this shit is either not rewarded
Yeah.
or like overhyped. Like, I mean, look, think about a player who's connected to the club and is being let go for free, Aaron Ramsey,
Yeah.
for instance. It breaks my heart, man. Like there is no such thing as that in football anymore. Like and United is like the epitome of that right now. That there is no one there who's homegrown. Like you guys should not have let go of Welbeck. Just because he would have kept the green room happy. It meant so
they
much
kept
to
Ashley Young
him.
for that reason.
Like,
Yeah, we kept Ashley Young for that. You know, can't put on a cross, but as a mean Spotify playlist. You know, that's the reason why he's captain.
You gotta
nonetheless.
have those guys who care for the club.
Yeah.
And there are none in United right now. None that I can see.
I mean, there was Herrera, but we let him go. So
Yeah, like and that's
And
happening.
he was the first person to
It's an
like be
epidemic.
gone, right? This season.
Valencia and Herrera.
Oh.
Valencia announced his departure first and then Herrera.
It's an epidemic in football.
It is,
That
yeah.
like if you care for the club, you will be gone.
Yeah.
And if you don't care for the club, you'll fuck it up.
Which,
It's really
and I don't
strange.
mean this just as a Liverpool fan, but I generally think that's one thing that really makes Klopp so special in this era is that he brings back, like, he retains players like Henderson. Like, who would have thought Henderson? He gave the responsibility to Henderson. We have Van Dijk, but Henderson is still captain. And then if not Henderson, then Milner. Like
Yeah.
players who keep the club going. He got Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Milner. I think like Milner has proven to be like in my mind a great. In my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Because
again,
I love players who are not gifted
Yeah.
and
who are
are
all-
valuable.
Gary Neville.
Yes, Nacho Monreal in this, like for me, like
Alberto Moreno.
no. Let's not get that.
like okay,
Let's not-
like
let's not put away
players who are not gifted, who don't have that silky touch or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like gift, like Ronaldo, Messi. These are gifted people.
Yeah.
Milner is nowhere near in that league of gift
Yeah.
And he still has the audacity to go, like, just
because he just
give his shoulder to Messi.
yeah.
This is after being embarrassed and
What
humiliated
he
by
will
Messi.
not, what he lacks in gift, he makes up in grit.
Yeah.
And those kind of people are very important. Like Ramsey is that player.
So I think Ramsey's pretty gifted.
He's
I'm sure he's injury
but dude,
prone,
he's
but
gifted, but his
he's very
mind,
gifted.
like I'll tell you something about Ramsey, like because I see him play a lot. I see him try a lot of cool shit that fucks up very often because his mind knows how to do it, and his body can sometimes keep up. All right, that's Ramsey in a nutshell.
But that's also every football player.
Like Messi will do it 9 out of 10 times or 7 out of 10 times, and Ramsey will do it like that one Galatasaray goal. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ramsey scored some insane goals only because he thinks he can,
Right.
not because his body has told him.
Right.
Right, like he's in that level. And also, like, is it okay if I just talk about Ramsey leaving and how sad I am about that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Dude,
This is a
this-
You want to cry, you can cry. So nobody's going to see it.
I actually do feel like crying about it because this guy came in when he was 17. He picked United over us because he wanted playtime.
Yeah.
The reason Wenger didn't take him back is because didn't take Cesc back is because he thought it would be unfair to Ramsey, to a kid who's given his heart and soul to the club. He had that horrific injury against Stoke, came back from that, back as a player. Like he should, like people don't come back from that as like the same mentality.
Yeah.
Once you've seen your bone fucking coming through your shin guard,
Yeah.
you're always scared to tackle. Never went down, like never died.
Yeah.
Right. All round great guy. And you're letting him go. You're letting him go. You pulled away a contract. Like this guy has seen Arsenal through the worst of times. Right? Through the worst
in
of
the
times.
present continuous sense of
Yeah,
word.
yeah, I mean, European Cup final, but no, but like the thing is, Arsenal through the worst of times, through everything, through Wenger leaving, you can't let him go. You can't just let him go like this. Like it's fucked up what football
But he's
is
going
today.
to be honest, but he's going to a bigger clubs, which I don't.
That's the only thing that makes me happy.
very big club.
Like that. That's the only thing that makes me happy.
But do you think he's going to get game time at Juventus?
It's an upgrade. Upgrade into a big club as a squad player is better than him going to a
Fair
small
enough.
club as
Like
the
a
main
Crystal
player.
Palace or something
Like yeah,
like
like
that, yeah.
look,
Fair
let's
enough.
be very honest.
And props to him for taking that decision.
Yeah, the thing is, Arsenal, like, I think Arsenal's 3 great years when Premier League was becoming popular made people think it's a big club. It's not. It's not
Sure.
a big club. It's not up there with the rest. The miracle is that it fights with fights with them.
Right.
That's the miracle of Arsenal.
Right.
Ramsey is making a good career decision for himself personally, but he wanted to stay.
We have to give a shout out to the winner of the Corner Flag FPL League. It's Amit Lakhani, username Venny VD Vici, who's won the Corner Flag FPL League.
Wow,
So,
he's
yeah,
really
give him a
Venny
round of
Vici.
applause, boys.
Well done.
Is he getting anything?
He's getting a goodie bag from us, man. It'll be
Oh, that's
ready
fucking
in a
dope,
few
man.
weeks.
An actual physical prize.
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
so he'll get the prize and he'll also come on board for an episode.
I feel like he
that's
found out
amazing.
while listening.
That's a great prize.
No, I actually spoke to him on
Okay,
Twitter.
cool,
So it's cool. It's cool.
He's
Like,
in the podcast going, oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. and with that, we shall move on to our final segment of this episode. It's called Fun Stuff in Football.
This is fun stuff. This is fun stuff. This is fun stuff in football.
All right, first fun stuff. Let's go to the MLS because Jermaine Defoe was in action for Toronto FC. There was a free kick and he really wanted to take it to the point where he fought with his teammate Gilberto, not any famous Gilberto.
Yes.
Just
well,
a Gilberto.
Just A. Gilberto.
And he was visibly pissed off. He tried to push him away. There was a clear altercation, but Gilberto won that fight and then slammed the free kick in.
What a belter.
What a belter.
Proper belter. Like, I think Gilberto would not have scored that
Yeah.
if he hadn't had that fight with Defoe.
Yeah, I think Gilberto was thinking, fuck, Defoe meri gaand marega. Because
Yeah.
Defoe is that kind of a, like you see him, he's
Yeah.
small,
Yeah.
but he can
and
fuck
he's
you
big,
up.
man.
And,
He's
Yeah,
a-
he can fuck
and
you
he
up.
has some serious history and doubt compared to
Yeah.
like any MLS
Gilberto?
players. Yes. Yeah, I would say most of MLS.
Gilberto could have been the third part of Tom and Dick.
Yeah.
Tom, Dick, and a Gilberto.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
so for him, I think when he kicked that ball,
Yeah.
he pictured the back of Defoe's head on it.
What I really love was Defoe smiling after the ball went in because he's like, fuck, I can't stay mad anymore.
Yeah, what do I say to
Yeah,
that kind of
and
a
the way he
free kick?
goes and celebrates with the rest of the team and with Gilberto in particular, they have a little special handshake going on. That's fucking beautiful.
Like,
But maybe in the dressing room now they're beating each other up. They're just like, yeah, I was for the cameras and with the fans, but now you watch.
I think as long as you score the goal, it's fine.
Exactly,
At least it's not like that Sari's keeper situation.
Kepa.
Yeah.
Like-
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Shit team, Chelsea.
At least it's not one of those.
In this podcast, we hate Chelsea. Like we're very like.
I mean, in life also.
In life, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a very sweet moment between the two players because it wasn't like, the Salah Milner penalty scramble where at the end of it, Salah still clearly looked pissed off. Whereas with Defoe, he was like, look, it doesn't matter who scored the goal. It was a
got a
great
goal.
goal. We got a goal. That's all that matters. Really, really
and they had
sweet moment between the two
prepared
players.
celebration that they put
Yeah,
off also,
exactly,
at the end of it, with the clap.
I think it's just poetic that they play for Toronto FC. How Canadian of them.
Yeah, this wouldn't have happened in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Right? This just
They would have stayed pissed off. Right now they're having pancakes with maple syrup. Just,
But in the Premier League, you're actually competing for something.
Except for just a free kick.
more fun stuff. Ivan Rakitic is in the news. It's not really fun stuff. But he had something really inflammatory to say in 2012 when he was playing for Sevilla, because there's an excerpt from that conversation that has made its way into the press. He allegedly said, "I respect homosexuals, but I do not want those people in the locker room. I would not leave a team for that because I respect a homosexual equal to a black person, a fat person, or a dwarf. But I'd rather not have them in my team."
Could he have made it any worse?
No, I don't think it's...
I think he could have
Muslim
by saying, "I don't like gay people." I think that would have made it significantly worse.
No, I think that would have been more honest. The problem is, first of all, I'll always question the press first.
Yeah.
Right, first, why are you releasing this now?
Yeah, exactly. It's a 2012
Yeah, it's a
interview.
No, I think it was dug up. I don't think it was released by a press. I don't think it was real.
Probably.
It's like, what language? What language did he give this interview?
Spanish.
So things can translate wrong as well, right?
Yeah.
English is a
There are only so many ways.
emotionless language in that
Yeah.
sense. Like in Hindi, you go tu and up, and then you'll be like respect,
Yeah.
disrespect,
Yeah.
right? And the other thing is, he still said, "I respect them. I wouldn't leave a team for them, but I mean,
I'd rather not.
I just rather not." Like
I can honestly,
that's way better than fuck them.
I can honestly see Rakitic doing that interview with, maybe his press manager sitting next to him or something.
Yeah.
Where he says, I would rather not have homosexuals in my life, and the press manager is just going ballistic.
No, how would
and then he says, no, I respect them, as much as I respect black people. Oh, fuck. Like fat people. No, shit. Stop it, Ivan.
Amogh.
Dwarfs. No, fuck.
Don't
what are you
even
doing?
see that.
Amogh, it was 2012.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about gay people back then.
Fuck, that
It's
is true.
changed a lot in
That
the
is
last
true.
7
Which
years.
is exactly what I was going to say, is that it's homophobic, racist, it's wrong, it's politically incorrect on
It is.
many levels, but it's about 7 years ago. He must have been, 22, 23. You're still young. I feel like...
And you don't know his
you can't-
upbringing. You don't know what his
Yeah, I
family
feel like-
and
Yeah.
growth structure has told him about gay
I think,
people.
it's not about discussing how you have a psychologist. You should probably have a liberal arts person. Because I think these
Gender
values...
studies.
No, because I think these values should be taken for granted.
Do you guys have any money on which player you think is gay?
No.
Okay, cool. I have my money on one player, and I'm waiting for maybe he'll come out.
Who's this?
Or Bellerin.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Sure, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. And B, he speaks a lot. Or maybe he's just a straight guy doing the right thing. Both things are fine. But he speaks a lot about he has a quote, it's impossible to be a gay footballer in today's day and age. And he talks a lot about equality and it could be. I would really I'm waiting for one to come out.
Yeah. Thomas Hitzelsberger was the
who's
last person who came
But
out.
that was after he retired.
After he retired.
Yeah,
There's
who
no
is the
active-
cricketer who just recently came out?
No, he didn't. That was like a fake. Like a
What?
false.
Yeah, it was a... He
James Faulkner, I think what he said was, he's been my partner for the last some X
No,
number
he
of
said
years.
dinner with my boyfriend. He actually
No, he
meant
meant-
best
sorry,
friend.
boyfriend. He meant best
He
friend, yeah.
changed it and he added in brackets best friend.
Next fun stuff. Man United again, because Paul Pogba was told to fuck off by a United fan after the game. Did you see that video? It's great because they were doing a lap of honor. I don't know why. What honor?
Wow.
Seriously.
At the end of the season?
At the end of the season, yeah, right. After losing 2-0 to Cardiff, they go around the stadium and some supporters were still there. By the way, there was an 83rd minute walkout that the United supporters had planned, which didn't entirely work out. But
Why 83rd minute?
Because 7 minutes from time and 7 years of pure shite since Ferguson left.
Oh, Also, you can't really calculate extra time. So that really puts the
If
calculations
they
off.
really wanted to make a statement, they should have done a 7th-minute walkout.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's more-
you know, like, come
Yeah.
on.
That's more
It's like,
exact.
मैं अपने पैसे भी वसूल करेगा और walkout भी मारेगा. Fuck off. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
really
I know. But anyway, one guy, so these guys were in the corner and one guy basically just shouted at Paul Pogba that he's shit and he needs to fuck off. And all
he
Pogba could do was he just gave him the thumbs up and he was like, what can I do? I'm sorry.
I would like
But
to
he
see him
didn't
do that to
really look
Cantona.
sorry. He didn't
Look
like
sorry. He just looked like a cunt.
Yeah, he looked like he was posing for Instagram with his,
Yeah.
oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
What
What can I do, man? I can't do
I have a
anything.
transfer already. Real Madrid's coming.
I'm
I don't
going.
give
I
a
don't
shit
know.
about
I
you.
don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm
man.
sorry.
This
I'm
is
sorry. It
over.
didn't work out. You know, it's just
it's not me,
tough.
it's you.
It's
It's
sad.
totally
Yeah.
you. We're done.
Problem
Yeah.
with Pogba is he's got those feet and that brain.
Unfortunate.
Like,
It's so unfortunate.
It's such an unfortunate combination. Like if
I mean, Pogba on his day, he
He's
does
one of the
not.
best in
He
the
does
world.
not let go of the ball.
he's one of the best in the world. Like on his day. But
How
then
often
it's-
does the day come?
It depends on which team he's playing for. Maybe if he plays for Real Madrid, that days could be every game.
Nah, man.
Last
Like
week, no.
this is clearly it's like a Balotelli situation. Very gifted, but will keep getting in his own way. Like we all know people like that in our own lives.
Very
Where-
gifted, but Mourinho will have the best stories about you. That's probably what's going to happen to Pogba.
I feel like with
and-
Pogba and Lukaku and a lot of these big players now, they know that they've made it. They don't feel, from what I can see, they don't feel the need to work hard anymore or to prove themselves because they're already among the best players.
No, I doubt with Pogba it's a lack of intent. I think with Pogba it's a thing of location. If he probably is at a bigger club or a better, what he would consider to be a club that suits his skill, he'll probably perform.
I
at the-
imagine a player like Pogba say looking around him in the squad and going like these bitches ain't worth me.
Yeah.
Like, I can totally imagine Pogba saying that to
Yeah.
himself.
But I can imagine Pogba saying that to himself in any squad pretty much. You know, he looks
Yeah.
like he has quite a bloated head.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bloated head with sometimes blonde hair, sometimes blue hair, sometimes red hair, sometimes purple hair, sometimes black hair, sometimes white
Baal
hair,
kam
sometimes
katao, yaar.
indigo hair, sometimes
Really?
teal hair. So I can go on.
Yeah.
But we can't because we have one more final fun stuff to talk about, which is
All right.
Raghav special.
all right, you guys need to get in on this action. So in League One, there's this. Oh, let me build it up a bit. So there used to be a club called Wimbledon FC. And it was bought by an owner, and the owner said that we are going to move it to another part of London, which is Milton Keynes, right? And Wimbledon FC had won FA Cup, which is a huge deal for a small tier club, right? That they had an FA Cup at some point.
Yeah.
They took that FA Cup with them.
Yeah.
Right. And then what happened was that the people of Wimbledon said, how can you fucking have Wimbledon not in Wimbledon? And the insult to injury is that this owner is like, since you're called the Dons, we will call this new club MK Dons. Right. Like, so the people of Wimbledon got so pissed off. This happened 15 years ago that they said, this fucking park, we are having a trial. Anybody can come and we are starting our club. In 15 short years, they are playing League One football.
That is damn cool.
That's a great story.
They are only 60 places away from Arsenal. Right? Like, look, think about it. Like that's a crazy
That is
thing to
beautiful.
achieve in 15 years.
Yeah.
Fan owned, fan run. Their biggest sponsor is a YouTuber. Like, all right. Do you know about John Green? Like the guy who wrote the book Fault in Our
Yeah.
Stars. So if you see the Wimbledon Stadium, his books are the stands. Like, yeah. His book titles are the stands in the hoarding because he used to have a channel called Hank Games with Hank where he would just play FIFA and discuss philosophy and things like that. And that channel used to get about steady 300,000 views a week. And he's like, all the money from this channel will go to Wimbledon FC.
That's so
like
cool.
AFC Wimbledon. It will go to AFC Wimbledon. And the cherry on the cake is that last year, MK Dons got relegated from League One. It gets better. And this year, they were in bottom of the table. I can only follow it on FortMob, right? So bottom of the table for 3 months. They were bottom and were before the month leading up to this thing. And then they fucking get 2 wins. And then they beat Wickham. And then they get a 90th minute draw against Luton Town, who won the league.
Nice.
And now they survived.
Nice.
They survived a relegation scrap in League One with a
That's a
club,
great
What
story.
a fairy tale.
with a fan-owned, fan-run club.
That's Saturday Park.
Are you listening, Ed Woodward? By the way, if you have any openings, Ed can just come and take over.
No,
and
please,
if you
please,
don't
please.
want YouTubers
Like
to
my-
sponsor and you want like noodles
I really-
and airways.
You're
If
trying
some
really hard
way-
to get to there.
Like,
Yeah.
the thing that would give me an orgasm of death is if some way Arsene Wenger gets wind of this club and goes like, you know what, this suits my values, I'm going there. Some way. Because he would scout players that would get them to championship.
Yeah,
Easy
yeah.
peasy.
Easy, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like easy peasy. And from there he can scout players which will get them to the Premier League. And then I'd have like a real club to support. like I'm sorry, dude. I sports needs some communism.
Yeah.
Right. And like it's like I'm not ashamed to say it. And Wimbledon FC is AFC Wimbledon, right, is the club. Oh, I'm going to tell you one funny taunt that these guys used to chant to MK Dons. I mean, they knew MK Dons are going close to relegation, and in League One, when they were
Yeah,
playing a
yeah.
match together, AFC Wimbledon fans chanted them, "Who were you? Who were you before you were us?"
Oh,
Like,
Nice.
it's just such a fairy tale.
It is. And on that note, it is time to end this very long episode because it has been the last episode of the active season. Don't worry, we'll be having special episodes come out every Tuesday, so we're not going anywhere. Thank you so much, Raghav, for joining us.
It was fucking awesome to be here. It
Thank-
really was.
Thank you so much, Akash, for joining us.
Thank you. for
Thank you so much,
having me.
Mukesh, for joining us.
yeah, it's been so long since I've done this podcast.
If you like what you're listening to, you should subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast from, and do not forget to give us a 5-star review. Raghav, do you have any gigs you want to plug?
I don't have any gigs I want to plug. Just follow me on Instagram.
All right.
That would be the best.
All right, you can follow Raghav on Instagram at.
Raghav Mandava.
You can follow Akash on Instagram at.
Akarsh Chandan.
And on Twitter at.
Akarsh Chandan.
And you can follow Mukesh on Instagram at.
Mukesh Manjunath.
And on Twitter at.
Muk the Gol, as in asterisk the Gol.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Amogh, on Instagram at Amogh, and on Facebook at Amogh Comedy.
I just noticed most people here have their actual names on their social media.
Yes.
Holy shit, this is a unique club.
Yes.
like it's not
You want to
many
hold
people-
trials in a park and start a football club? man?
I'm not Raghav 712.
early adopters before
Yeah,
all the
man.
names were taken away.
Yep.
Also, I'm performing in Chennai on the 18th and 19th at Counterculture Comedy Club. So if you're listening to this in Chennai and you want to come grab a beer and watch some comedy and talk some football, I will be at Counterculture on the 18th and 19th.
And if you're in Bombay, come to Roadhouse Blues on May 22nd. I'll be hosting. We can talk about football. And if you're a Liverpool fan, come. I'll buy you a beer.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's what it. Come for the shows, guys.
And if you're in Bombay, you can meet Akash in Bandra.
Or you have to meet in Andaman, so you choose. You choose. where you wanna
On
meet.
you. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And we will see you in the off season with special episodes. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.